Okay, hello all. So this will tell you completely how you can run the workshop, okay? So first, you teach them, bring them to the slide, right? Bring them to the slide, what is YOLO, what is detection, right? And then, okay, great, this, doing this right now, right? Okay, and then, let them start YOLO, okay? Well, start hands on the YOLO. And then basically ask them to clone the project, okay? And then follow you guys, okay? So earlier we have some setup because that we make the external workshop. So this one is easier, internal one, a smaller one. So I think they can just like follow you guys. It's gonna be so easy, okay? Trust me. So first, you clone the project, right? And right now, after you clone the project, it's gonna be something like this, okay? Something like this. And then you just follow this one. Okay, readme summer workshop.txt. This one I wrote for you guys, the instructor, okay? And everyone. So when you open the terminal in the VS Code, wait a second. So you're gonna see something like this, right? You're gonna see like base here, right? A base, okay? Which means you still didn't activate any environment, okay? So you follow me like this. Conda create environment, and then we're gonna use Python 3.12. This is important, okay? Follow this, otherwise there will be some error, okay? Python 3.12. Environment, let's name detection workshop, okay? Detection workshop, and then you activate the environment. You're gonna see like see something like this, right? Okay, you activate it, and then you install this file. This one is requirement for YOLO, okay? It's here, this one. Install this, follow just this command, and then you install the requirement for grounding dyno, okay? And then you have to install it second time, grounding dyno. Trust me, just trust me. There will be some error in some package because it's not installed properly, because maybe at that time that you install is not like synchronized or it's not updated. So you have to install second time. So just like second time, right? After you finish second time, you do this to upgrade the package. This package maybe like it's outdated since like last year my workshop, okay? So you have to upgrade this. I try already, so just trust me, and then follow all of this. Then you will have this perfectly prepared environment detection workshop. All right, so far so good. And then you start the workshop, okay? You start from YOLO, okay? You start from YOLO, and then you click here, this right here. So earlier it's gonna be like, oh, ask you to select the kernel, the environment, okay? Environment is kernel, and then you select Python environment, and then you find detection workshop that we just installed, right? Detection workshop. It's gonna be this one. Then you just click. The later is gonna be so easy, right? You just click, okay? You click this, and then right now everyone is in this repository, right? And then you load the dataset. We're gonna use RoboFlow dataset that use my API, okay? Use my API right here. It's gonna be label data already, all right? It's gonna be in label data already, like this. It's labeled already, having the image of the cat, okay? It's labeled already. So we're gonna use this dataset, but you have to fix something. So after you download from RoboFlow, it's gonna be like this, right? Have some file under this folder, right? So you have to modify this file. So earlier it's not like this. It's something like this. After you download from RoboFlow, it's something like this. So you have to delete this, and you have to delete this, and don't forget to save, okay? Control S. But in my computer it's default saving every time, so don't forget to save. Tell everyone, every participant, don't forget to save, okay? So far so good. You modify this file, right? I wrote it here already, so you have to modify this file. And then this is the dataset, okay? We're gonna train on the cat dataset, right? And then you train the model. So I'm not gonna train right now because it's waste of time, right? Taking like 4 minutes. So during the training, you can teach them the theory, right? In this slide, you can teach them, okay? So actually, if in the workshop you can use GPU, if you can use GPU, you can set this to like 40 epoch, right? And then original image size is 640. But because we're gonna use CPU, so let's just set it into like 160. The performance is dropped, but it still can do the work. So let's do this, and it just take like 4 minutes. Okay, it's like acceptable. But if on that day you somehow afford GPU or someone got GPU, you tell them in the workshop, you tell them that okay, you can set the epoch to like 30, 40. You can set image size to be the original one of 640. But in this case, just use 160, okay? It's gonna train epoch 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth to 10, right? And then you finish everything, and then you tell them, oh, okay, this evaluation, some graph here, maybe you can prepare, like take a look what is the meaning of each, okay? And the most important graph in the evaluation of machine learning is F1. Okay, you can take a look what is like F1. You can search online, right? And then, oh, this F1 is so low. Why is it so low? Because we just trained it for 10 epoch, right? So if you train like 60 epoch or 50, 60 epoch, it's gonna be like 80% accuracy or 70% accuracy. Like I mean F1, okay? Confidence level. And then yeah, let's test on the image. So this is a cat image, right? And let's train on test on the pre-trained model first. Pre-trained model is the model provided by Ultralytics, okay, a company of YOLO. So let's train on pre-trained model. How it work? Boom! It can detect a cat, right? It can detect a cat. Now let's train our model. Try our model that we just trained. Oh, it can detect as well, but it's not that high accuracy, right? Because we just trained for like few time. Now you ask the audience, can it detect a spanner? Can it detect everything? The result is no, it cannot. Okay, let's try. No, it cannot. Do you see? It cannot detect anything. It didn't draw any bounding box, right? So this is the list of all the objects that YOLO can detect, okay, without training. So in order to detect something with YOLO, you have to have data, right? You must have data set, you must label it, and you must train. Okay, and now you go back to the slide after finish everything, and you go back to the slide. You teach them, oh, this is closed set, this is open set, and what is grounding dyno? Briefly, what is grounding dyno, right? And then you come back to the code, and then you teach them grounding dyno. So grounding dyno, this one. So you use the same, okay? Select kernel, the same as YOLO, follow the same way, right? You select detection workshop, the same. Right, the same as the one that you just used in YOLO. Okay, so this one is the same, and you click everything. Click this. So this will clone this folder. This is a folder project of grounding dyno. So you must click this to clone it. So I already run, so it's cloned already, right? So you just click, and then it will clone grounding dyno folder. So this is taking some time, like 2 minutes. Okay, you have to download the weight file. What is the weight file? Weight file is the model file that got trained already. Okay, so it's save it here. So I click it already, so it take like 0 seconds because I already loaded before. So in the workshop, you have to run this and take like 2 minutes. You can talk something else first, right? So it's gonna load this weight file, and then you initialize the model here, right? And then you can just click, okay? And then it detect everything. You can try like changing other prompt, compass, maybe like a hand. So if you use the word hand, let's try hand. So if you use the word hand, it will detect hand instead of compass. Take some time. I don't know why. Yeah, it depends on the CPU actually. Let's just skip this. But a spanner, for example, this one spanner is detect a spanner. You can try like, oh, let's try detect a bolt, right? So yeah, with grounding dyno it can detect. Oh, okay, finish. So if you use the word hand, it's gonna detect a hand. You see, it's not gonna detect a compass no more. So you can play with audience, let them try with different prompt, different confidence level. Okay, this one is like confidence level. That's all. You can allow audience to use their own image. So let them upload the image somewhere here, changing the image name, right? And then changing the prompt. Okay, it's super easy, this workshop. And then everything is finished. And then you come back to here, summarize, and then done. Okay, the workshop is done. So the key component here in the project that I think you can follow and everything is gonna be perfect is that you have to create the environment with Python version 3.12, right? You have to install the requirement, follow what I said, right? And then you play with YOLO, select the kernel to be here, select kernel to be detection workshop, and then follow everything. When you load the dataset for YOLO to be the dataset online that use my API key right here, you have to fix, okay? Don't forget this part. You have to fix this file right here. You have to fix it, modify it. This one, okay? So earlier it's like this, remember? Then you have to modify like this. And you just click to the end, okay? And then train, and then evaluate, and then some storytelling, this one, and then go back to slide, come back here, teach them grounding dyno. That's all, okay? Any questions, just ask me. But let's try clone and then do everything first, okay?